When people think about Special Olympics, they obviously think about sports, which is, yes, at the forefront of things, but Special Olympics is much more than sports.
I think that the population in general doesn't realize how much our athletes can do and how much they can succeed.
Special Olympics now it's not just sports and being an athlete and finding some achievement and success, but it's really about finding friends and meeting people, experiences. You know, it's like grown, it's bigger than that.
The skill, the courage, the caring, the joy. It's not just a slogan, you know, it really is what the program is.
They put their heart and souls into doing what they can do to achieve these goals.
They're committing themselves and they're succeeding. We can learn a lot from these young athletes and their determination to get over all the different type of adversities that comes with having some physical or mental disability.
For them, it's really a chance to come together. It's a chance for them to feel included through sport. It's a chance for them to feel dignity and respect and just have a great time socializing together and just really becoming one.
I'm gonna put it this way, we have a fun time.
Special Olympics across the country was founded back in 1968 by Eunice Kennedy Shriver. 4 years later, after she began the program, Michigan finally decided to get in on the fun as well. Now, 1972, Michigan was chosen to begin a Special Olympics program. Just 1 year later, the state games came to CMU for the first time ever, and that began a 4 decades-long relationship between Central Michigan University and Special Olympics of Michigan, which has really just grown over the years and has just become an amazing thing for everyone involved. The number of volunteers has grown to about 3,600, while the athletes, we're looking at about 2,600 athletes on average about per year coming to the campus of Central Michigan University for the state summer games. It's really kind of the Super Bowl, if you will, of Special Olympics Michigan, because yeah, everybody comes out and they have fun, but really it's a competition as well. There are rules. Everybody doesn't come away with a medal. There are, everybody gets timed. Everybody has their distances measured, whether they're, throwing the softball or they're throwing shot puts or whatever they're doing. Everybody gets timed. And so it's a competition. So yeah, these athletes, they have fun just like everybody else, but they'll tell you they want to beat their friend as well while they're out here too. Now, the State Summer Games is definitely the biggest of all of the competitions that Special Olympics of Michigan hosts throughout the year, but it's far from the only one. Throughout the year, there are over 400 competitions going on throughout the state, and that's in different counties throughout the state as well. As far as sports that are offered go, Special Olympics of Michigan offers 26 different Olympic-style sports that our 20,000 athletes throughout the state compete in during the year. Our areas have different competitions as well, because not every athlete wants to come out and compete for the state championship, at the 100 meters. Some of our athletes just want to go out there and compete with their friends locally, and that's completely fine. That's why we have all of the different areas that we have. One of the very cool things that Special Olympics does is something called the Healthy Athletes Village. Now, at the State Summer Games, when you show up, athletes can come out and they can get free health screenings. They can come out and get their eyes looked at by doctors. They can get their hearing tested by doctors. And if they need glasses, well, guess what? They get fitted for them right there. The glasses get made right here at the site of the Summer Games. And by the time the athletes leave for the week, they've got a new pair of specs right on their head, right on their face, ready to go. Now, this is great for a lot of reasons, because a lot of times you see athletes showing up and they didn't even really realize that they needed glasses or that they needed a hearing aid. Because, sometimes athletes might not be able to inform their parents that they need them, or sometimes families might not even have the funds or the health insurance to get that taken care of. And so all this is done through donations. Doctors come out, they donate their time, they donate everything that they have.
Our Summer Games is definitely our largest event. We have all of our initiatives here, which includes Opening Eyes, Special Smiles, Fun Fitness, Healthy Hearing, Health Promotions, and Fit Feet. And then we also have our new TRAIN program, which is a training exercise program as well as nutrition. We have our Michigan CHIP program, which does child IDs. They come every year and do an ID program. We have Zumba, we have rowing. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield as our statewide sponsor for healthy athletes. We also do MedFest, which is our physicals for our athletes. All of our athletes are required to have a health appraisal every 3 years. So this is an opportunity for them to get that done for free. So it's a pretty wonderful event.
I think what we do for the athletes, the smiles on their faces, is worth the job, that's for sure. And I just enjoy the people and being here. The whole project to me is a wonderful thing to do. For some of these athletes who really don't have an option for getting any kind of vision care often, they're delighted to be able to get what we can offer.
We have frames here for the athletes. We have lenses here and up to and including certain prescriptions. We'll go up to a -6 for nearsighted people and a +6 for farsighted people. And so we can do, of the athletes that need glasses, we can probably do about 75% of them with the lenses we bring here. We have close to 700 pairs of sunglasses we give out to the athletes. We have prescription rec specs for athletes that play volleyball and dodgeball, field hockey. We have swimming goggles for the swimmers. So we try and have something for everyone to take care of the problems they might have.
I've been involved in Special Smiles for about 13 to 15 years. The program is meant to give oral hygiene instructions to the athletes that come through. Over a decade ago when I came in, we'd see a lot of athletes with broken teeth, bleeding gums, they weren't brushing, didn't know what a toothbrush was, and if they had infections, we could bring coaches over, show them what was needed, talk to them about a healthy diet, flossing, things that they were capable of doing, and sometimes they just need individual plans. We've also been able to hook some of the athletes up with dentists that are willing to see special athletes. During the summer games, we put on fluoride varnish. We do exams, oral hygiene instruction. During poly hockey in November, we do mouth guards. We do oral exams as well, but more so mouth guards because they're not required to wear them, but a custom-made mouth guard goes a lot further. I think it's amazing. I've seen mouths that were in very poor condition be able to be fixed up if we can get them to a dentist, but I have also seen ones that have gotten glasses, just saying, I can see for the first time, or going through and having people that are willing to work with them. I like to have the capability of showing that there is help out there for them and they can get. Most of them are so genuine. And once you take care of them, it's amazing. I think I get more out of it than the athletes do.
To have a connection with the Special Olympics, it's been amazing. I am here assessing the foot of the young athletes. We're analyzing their gait, we're measuring their feet. We're making sure that they have healthy feet so they can participate with less pain. We are seeing a lot of sizing differences. A lot of athletes are wearing shoes that are actually a little bit too big for them or not wide enough. So for the majority of the part, they don't have enough support in the shoes. A lot of the athletes are complaining about their knees or their heels and their arches because they don't have the support, because most of their parents are just buying shoes that, semi-fit instead of being fitted correctly based on how their foot comes in contact with the ground.
What we have found with our athletes, about 80% of our athletes are wearing the wrong size shoe. And that was something he discovered last year. Many of our Down syndrome athletes have really short, wide feet. So to compensate for that, they're buying bigger shoes, not wider shoes. So he's actually been able to promote a product for us so the athletes can get some shoes that fit. Our physical fitness, our Fun Fitness program is run by physical therapists, and they do some physical therapy exercises and work with them and general exercises to see what they need to do to improve their health. Health Promotions, it has a gamut of healthy eating. They do sunscreen, smoking, no smoking. We also do bone density testing. One thing we did find with our athletes is they have low bone density, and they're able to actually look at that and then give them referrals to their doctors so they can combat something that may be coming up in the future. One other really great thing with this program too is not only are we able to help the athletes, we're actually able to help our clinical people. Many of the clinical directors have said students coming out of school don't know how to deal with our population. This is a great training for them. So not only is it a great thing for our athletes, but it's a great learning piece for the clinical students and doctors and physical therapists that come here to learn how to work with our population, which is critical. Well, I've been around for 22 years, so the meaning of Special Olympics has never changed for me. It's actually just our athletes. It's everything that they stand for, the power of believing, knowing they can accomplish things that people thought they never could do. That has never changed for me at all. It's just amazing when we watch the athletes arrive on campus or even at any of our other events that, you know, they put their heart and souls into doing what they can do to achieve these goals, and it's all about the athlete.
Now, one of the misconceptions about Special Olympics is that it's just for kids. It's not. In fact, in Michigan, we have about 20,000 athletes competing. About a third of our athletes are the age 21 and over. Now, Special Olympics itself is for athletes who are ages 8 on up. You could be 100 if you want to come out. You're snowshoeing in the winter, you're playing whatever during the summer, 8 on up, you're good to go. One of the programs that Special Olympics recently started to help reach the younger audience, if you will, is their Young Athletes program. Now, the Young Athletes program is really cool. It reaches out to kids who are ages 2 through 7. It gives them a chance to get familiar with Special Olympics, not necessarily competing, but a chance to really get into the social aspect of it. They're interacting with other kids who are just like them. They're having fun. They're working on their social skills, their cognitive skills, their physical skills, their motor skills. They're having fun playing games together, and it's great for the kids because it gets them used to the Special Olympics community, but it's great for the parents and the families as well, because really the Young Athletes program reaches out to the families because it's really a support group for them too. Because, you know, a lot of these families at times can feel alone out there. They might not think that there are other people who really understand what they're going through, but there are. And the Young Athletes program is a great chance for the families, the kids and the parents and everyone just to kind of get together and just bond together.
I would say that, you know, a great majority of our family friends at this point in our lives. We've been involved with Special Olympics for 14 years, and in the girls' lives, our friends from Special Olympics. That friendship piece has been really meaningful as well in our lives. You know, we basically, Special Olympics calendar is the calendar that our lives revolve around in a great way. I have 2 athletes who are Special Olympians, and my oldest was 8, and that was the age at the time. Now we have that great Young Athletes program, but that was not in existence when Molly turned 8, and so as soon as she turned 8 in March, the first sport that was coming up was track and field, so we raced right out to the track. She had done a little bit of rec sports in our town, but it was starting to become kind of obvious that she wasn't able to keep up with the other athletes, and some parents were a little not encouraging to us as a family on the sidelines, which was kind of stinky. So when we came out to Special Olympics, from the second that we stepped foot into the track area, you know, hey, how are you? What's your name? One of the older athletes came running right over. Oh, are you a runner? Great, let me show you around. The coach, who is still her coach now, immediately started joking around with her. Oh, your name's Molly. Are you Molly McButter? And Molly's like, no, I'm Molly Heatska. So, you know, there was just this welcome, this camaraderie, this friendship, this support for not only your athlete, but for the whole family. We never left. I mean, some parents, it's a time to go get some groceries or that kind of thing, but for us, we were just sucked right in from the second we landed. And so we said, is there anything that we could do? Can we help out? I have a son who's 2 years older than Molly, so we brought him in and he started kind of mentoring some of the older athletes, which was wonderful. Then when my daughter Charlotte is 2 years younger than Molly, and she joined as soon as she turned 8, we've tried out all different kinds of sports. They play sports with Special Olympics all year round. They are involved in track and field in the summer and softball and golf, and they play soccer. And in the winter, we snowshoe, and my husband coaches an all-girls basketball team in our area called the Pink Panthers, and both the girls are on his team. They've tried gymnastics, they've done swimming, they've, done lots of other activities, but probably running and basketball are their favorites. But opportunities for sport and growth all year round with Special Olympics, which is really amazing. I think for the young athletes, one of the things that I've enjoyed most about Special Olympics as a parent is having a built-in support group of the other parents. So, you just have people that get it. Our kids are, a lot of times they're overlooked in the school setting, in the work setting, in a regular general sports setting. And, sitting and watching your kids kind of go through that, it can be really hard as a parent. And so, in Special Olympics, you're meeting people that have gone through those same experiences. Some people with older athletes can maybe offer you some advice, which now that my girls are 22 and 20, I'm kind of trying to fill in that role for some of the new parents that are coming along. It can be tough raising kids with intellectual disabilities, and it's certainly a 24/7 kind of a job. And some days you can feel overwhelmed, and knowing that you have other people that you can turn to that are going through that exact same experience with you, there's just a, kind of one of those, and if we're having a birthday party for one of the girls, and so their Special Olympics friends are coming over, and so everyone's got some quirks or a little something going on, as we like to say, and their parents are trying to say, oh, well, this or that, and we just say, nothing scares us. Bring it on, there's yeah, and it'll all be great. And whatever happens, it's going to be great. And we're going to love your kid, and they're going to have a great time at the party or whatever. I think being involved with other parents who understand that has been really hugely beneficial to me, and I think most of the other Special Olympics parents too. It's that judgment-free zone, not just for our kids, which of course we see, but we don't have to see other people judging our kids either, which is really hard to watch sometimes. If you're walking behind them and you see somebody looking or pointing at them or something like that, that can be just heart-wrenching. And that's just something that you will never experience in a Special Olympics setting. So it's just that time of just ability to, I'm gonna make myself cry, just focus on all of those things that make your kids so wonderful without having to worry about anything, anything else that's going on. There's this whole world of amazing change that the Special Olympics organization is working on, which is just, it would boggle your mind.
Project Unify brings together people with and without intellectual disabilities in schools. And that kind of bridges this social gap, if you will, between a lot of the students that might not necessarily hang out together in school. Really kind of builds friendships and leadership as well between them, a lot of inclusion between them through sport as well.
We're working with over 50 schools in Michigan. We start a youth advisory council made up of both general ed and special ed students. They receive leadership training, and they plan all the activities for the year. So it involves some community service. They do a Spread the Word to End the Word campaign, and then they also do inclusive, unified sports. The goal of the program is to change the climate in the school and to make our Special Olympic athletes and people with disabilities in general welcomed and part of the community. So there's a big anti-bullying component to it and a huge friendship building part of the program.
At our school, more kids, they catch themselves before saying the R word. They'll start to say it and then they'll be like, oh wait, I pledge not to say this. And then they'll change the word to something different. And I think that's a big improvement, because before everyone was using it and it just was bad. And I would tell people could you use a different word please and stuff like that, but they didn't listen. But now that they're pledged and they got the little wristbands and stickers and everything, they started not using it so much. And also the students at my school have become more aware of all the special needs kids there, and they also are all becoming very involved. Our student council this year decided to come involved with us, and they're just helping out, and they're like, oh, this is so cool, I don't know why we didn't see this before. Yeah, I think it's changed our school big. You make a lot of friends with it too. I made friends with Jasmine, and I talked to a lot of the other athletes from other areas here, and they're all really sweet.
Project Unified to me is like pretty much awesome. My class and I, we've been going bowling and Special Olympics, like the Winter Special Olympics. It's been really fun. Really, really fun.
I'm really proud of these kids. And they like touch my heart, they really do. I mean, I've got kids literally that have to be in an engagement, so they're driving home 2.5 hours, and then driving back tonight so they can be here to finish with them. That's pretty touching. I've had some high schoolers do the high school thing where they're off and they're getting their own pizza, and I'm like, really, guys, I'm counting on you. And then like all of a sudden they pull it together and they're doing it for me. They're just, I'm like, I need you to be responsible for them. And they're like, okay, I can do it. And they take it on. They get them to their stuff, they're cheering them on, they're warming them up. They're like better coaches than I could be that way. It's great.
Every school that we go into, we find that it makes a huge difference with both special ed and general ed kids. The teachers see huge differences, and the parents of both special ed and gen ed kids note a huge difference in their kids and their leadership qualities and their friendship making and just their being outgoing. It really makes a huge difference to the individual and to the school community.
Special Olympics Michigan wouldn't be the organization that it is without its volunteers. The volunteers that we have all across the state, they're helping out at the local levels, the state levels, and sometimes even beyond if needed. Now, a volunteer can do anything. You can show up and volunteer just once if you want to help out. You like to golf and you want to help out a local golf team, Special Olympics golf team, great. You can volunteer and help out just once, but I can tell you, if you help out once, you're going to want to keep coming back. People can help out as coaches along the way. They can help out as referees. I mean, really any role that you can picture outside of the competitions, that's probably filled by a volunteer along the way.
Even if you just want to come out and spectate at an event, you will never see more pure athletic ability and joy and hard work and trying and excitement on the faces of the athletes and the spectators at any other event that you'll ever attend. I don't care what it is, from the World Series on down. Special Olympics sports is something that you really have to experience, and once you do, you will, the slogan, be a fan. Once you experience it, you will be a fan, and so I encourage you to come out and check us out.
Our volunteers are just some of the most wonderful people you'll ever meet.
My daughter is involved, and I personally, as a parent, have seen such tremendous growth in her. I can hand a microphone to her, and she can lead an assembly and not be shy at all. I really credit Special Olympics in general as making a difference for her. She has been a volunteer since she was 4 years old. So I've seen a huge difference with her, but Project Unify especially has made a huge difference in her. I've never met a volunteer that has come to one of our events and has not wanted to come back and been hooked. It just has that effect on people. Everyone should try and come out to an event to either watch or volunteer. They would enjoy themselves.
As far as I'm concerned, us parents can talk, but there's nothing like speaking to an athlete. That's what really brings it home. This is what it's all about. This is what we're doing it for, and how happy and proud the athletes are of their successes. It's just amazing. You absolutely cry at least 5 times per games, no matter where you are, usually not even at your own child, or, it's just seeing that one athlete who maybe in your area finally made it over the finish line or got a medal or just kind of had their best race. And that just, it's so rewarding.
For more information about Special Olympics Michigan and to get involved and to volunteer, visit SOMI.org.